I have a 5-acre property that I got set up, and it's cost a total of, I think I'm around $225,000 that I purchased land. I built the structures. I got the plumbing, electric, mechanical. I got the labor. So I learned through going through this process and talking to an investor, my strength is I know how to build this stuff, and I know how to build it at a affordable price and affordable options and so on.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Kesil, and today I'm joined by someone I'm looking forward to chatting with, Mike Scarlett, who has been making serious moves, building custom homes and remodeling, and in the glamping business. So excited to have you on the show today, Mike.
Thank you very much. Excited to be here.
Awesome. I think our listeners are really going to take something away from how you're creating a profitable Glamp site business. So let's dive in. First off, for those not familiar with you and your world, can you give the short version of what your main focus is?
Okay, well, my main focus is building and running my own Glamp site and also offering consulting service to anybody that is interested in starting one up for themselves and needs a little help on the construction and infrastructure you need for a Glamp site. That's my focus these days. It's not necessarily my whole background, but it's definitely what I've been focusing on for the last 2 years.
Awesome. How did you get into glamping?
Well, it started with an Airbnb trip we went to, my wife and I. We live in North Texas, and we went to Oklahoma, stayed in an Airbnb there that was in the forest, and I was just sitting there on the couch looking out the windows at the trees, and I was like, man, I really would love to have something like this. And my wife and I started discussing what we should do and maybe finding a piece of land. And we came to the conclusion where we stayed was a little far. We wanted to find some land that was within 1.5 hours of, 1.5 hours of our location of where we live in Frisco. So I started looking for properties. I spent about a month gathering properties, looking at them online. And then I picked, I think it was the top 3 or 4. And I went out and started looking at land to find a Glamp site. So that's kind of how it started, was a vacation, and I want to get something set up like this. Let's start looking for land. And I started doing my homework that way. And then I found a property, and Found 5 acres of land with hardwood trees and some cedars and some nice topography, and a beautiful 5-acre piece of land that has utilities to it for $79,000 for 5 acres. And I'm within a mile and a half of 2 different lakes, so it's a nice location. So that's kind of how it got started.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Awesome. And how has the process been for getting it going, setting up the Glamp sites? How is that going?
It's going well. I've been a general contractor since the 80s, and I have tons of experience with building things, whether it's high-end custom homes, lower price custom homes, remodeling, commercial, residential. So my whole life has been, getting things built and running a construction business. So the process now is I have the knowledge to build everything out. I do have a consultant that I have hired that I listen to for setting things up, like, oh, what are the hours of operation, and what should be in the units when somebody gets there? What are the best platforms to market your Glamp site and all that? So I have all the experience with construction and can get it built. I do have a consultant that helps me with some of the other things that you need to do to set up a Glamp site, because we do have an Airbnb house across the street from where we live. So we're familiar with renting out a property and the things that they need and getting them the information and some of the negative things that can happen and so on. So we've had some experience for the last several years, doing an Airbnb house that we own across the street. So that's kind of what I've been doing lately. Um, and your question was, what would you say? What are you focusing on, or?
I just asked how the process of glamping is going. Like, what do you need to do to get that set up? Yeah,
Yeah,
just
it's a
describing
long
that
list.
process.
It's a long list. So I just kind of gave you the short version is, I can talk to anybody that wants to know anything about building. We've got out at our property, we have a 1978 vintage Airstream that we gutted and put a deck around, and it's got a spa, a fire pit, a covered area, ceiling fans, an eating area, and a totally remodeled Airstream. And then we got a 1957 vintage trailer that's totally remodeled, and we got a big 16 by 14 safari tent raised up on a deck that has the boho interior design features with a king size bed and a little kitchenette. It has its own bathroom and so on. And then the park has some camping tents in the back and another tent that doesn't have a bathroom. And we built a community bathroom in the park. So we've got some units that have their own bathrooms and kitchens, and some units that don't have their own bathrooms. And we're opening up the park to see what is popular in that area. So we're going to test the different structures, learn, make adjustments, and plan for phase 2, which phase 2, I'm not sure which structures we're going to go with, but I would like to build a really cool A-frame with a pool. I'd like to build a showstopper treehouse, kind of like you see Pete Nelson's Treehouse TV shows. And I would like to add a geodesic dome in the future.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
We're opening up our park with the 5 structures to learn what is hot and what is not, you know. Maybe we add more tents that don't have bathrooms, because we do have a bathroom out there that more tent people can use. And maybe we find out, geez, popping up the little tents is the most profitable thing to do with this property. Or maybe we're like, geez, the Airstream, and, you know, geez, because we've heard that you build a tree house and it's like printing money, you know, you get it booked all the time. So that's kind of the basics of our park. And, you know, we're going to learn a lot, and then I'm going to be consulting anybody that needs the construction part done or getting one physically built. But I do have a consultant that I would recommend for somebody that wants to know all the ins and outs of setting up Airbnbs and doing a Glamp site as far as the rental part of it. But I'm going to consider myself the expert at looking for land, the ins and outs of what property, you know, is a good one for you, and the construction, laying out a park. Geez, where should I put my septic tank? Oh, you have sewer. Where are we going to connect to the sewer? Getting your water going, electricity. You know, do you even have electricity? Is there power nearby, or do we have to talk about solar, which I have, you know, the experience with that also. So I'm the construction guy that's good at finding the property, getting it built, coming up with cool structures, you know, and my website is whisperingwoodstx.com. And at whisperingwoodstx.com, you'll be able to see a website of our Glamp site, and you can see some of the rules and some of the things we set up. And you can also see a lot of pictures of the individual units that we set up, and pictures of the park in general and some of the community areas. So you'll get a really good feel for what we're about if you go to our website and just look at our glamping site. And if something that I did that I would encourage other people to do, if you look at our website and you see some cool stuff and you really want to check it out, you know, a good thing to do is book a couple days, come out, study it, check it, and I'd be around to answer some questions for you. I think that would be very beneficial. And I hate to say it, the show just was last week, but in October of every year they have a glamping show in Denver, which I would highly recommend anybody that's interested in glamping sites attend that show. I have attended that show. They got a lot of nice structures you can look at, and they have people that can give seminars and tell you how to run one. So, and to be honest, I went to that, and that's when I realized there's a hole in this industry. As there's a lot of investors and people that want to have a Glamp site and so on, but not many people talk about what you need to do to construct one, you know, to build one. So there's a lot of guys out there that can talk to you about building a custom home, but a glamping site is a different animal.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
I highly, highly recommend, that people are interested in Glamp sites, really look for the experts. And in this case, I'm the expert in getting land and getting it built. But I'm going to say and I have a lot of general information of running Airbnbs and some basics of our park. But I highly recommend if you're looking to build one. And I want to point out that, the investor that called me and wanted to start talking about it, I was wanting to talk to her about building one from scratch because, quite frankly, I have a 5-acre property that I got set up, and it's cost a total of, I think, I'm around $225,000 that I purchased land. I built the structures. I got the plumbing, electric, mechanical. I got the labor. So I learned through going through this process and talking to an investor, my strength is I know how to build this stuff, and I know how to build it at a affordable price and affordable options and so on. So I really started seeing my strength on building a Glamp site when I started going through the process and talking to my consultant, because my consultant didn't know a lot of the stuff, that I know as a contractor. So I highly recommend people that are getting into Glamp sites. If you want to build one from scratch, it's a lot more economical, and I can get it done and help you get it done for a lot less money. It will take more money, I'm not saying money. It will take more time to build a Glamp site. And of course, it would be a lot faster if you went and found one and, oh, geez, this guy wants to sell his park for, $2.5 million. I'm just going to buy this one and run it. And I understand that strategy from investors. But for me, I'm looking for the deal, so I look for deals when it comes to finding the land, do a lot of hunting, get the right property. And then it's a whole conversation on the ins and outs of getting it built. So I can help people with that. But I think if they want to buy one turnkey, you go through a broker. There are Glamp site brokers out there that specialize just in Glamp sites and RV parks and so on. This is an odd animal that a lot of people want to get into. So your typical real estate agent is not going to be the call. You want to find one of those brokers that sell Glamp sites if you want to buy one already running. But if you want to build one from scratch and maybe save some money and go through the process yourself, then you call someone like me that can help line things up. And I'm willing to travel to go to sites. If I was honest, I would say I think the thing that I would be worth way more than my hourly fee, $175 an hour to do consulting, and I will come out to your place. And I would argue that in one day of consulting, for me walking your property, I would be able to point out that tree should stay, that tree is dying, that should go. You should put your septic tank over here because it's the lowest part of the area. Oh, well, you have to run pipes this many feet to get to the septic tank. And the electric, and I know the trenching and what we got to do to get the power there and so on. So I really think in one day, I could give people ideas on a layout. I could talk to them about different structures. I can tell them what I think it's going to take to get all the units up and running. Solar is something that people have to talk about sometimes because they can't get electric. Water is something to talk. I won't get into these things, but there's a lot of important things that you got to learn and get into. So in one day, I could walk through and point out what I would do. Geez, see that spot right there? That would be a perfect spot for a geodesic dome. Point it this way, looking out to the view, so they have privacy. I would put a tree house on this beautiful tree. I would get maybe, if you like trailers, get an Airstream, and I'd pull it into the park, set it here, and I'd put a deck around it, and I'd put the spa on this side so it's out of the sun in the late afternoon. So there's a zillion things to talk about that your typical person doesn't see when they walk through a forest. And I've seen pictures of people with these Glamp sites that they buy 10 yurts and line them all up in a row, and you got 10 yurts that are 10 feet away from each other, no privacy, and it's at a pretty place, but they're not thinking it through where people want to have some privacy. Maybe they don't want to come out of their deck, out of their beautiful unit, and look over, and 20 feet away from you is another person out on their deck, and so on. So there's a lot to it, and but it is a very profitable industry, very profitable. And that's one of the reasons it's hot. It really got going during COVID. I don't know if I'm rambling too much, and if you want to interrupt me and ask me another question, but I can tell you it is a very profitable business. And I'm going to tell you, back to your question of how did you get into this and so on. I will say I had somebody that influenced me in a big way. I have a buddy that I went to college with that is worth hundreds of millions of dollars, that started from nothing and did it all with apartments. And he was doing apartments for years and years with investors, making millions. And at one point, he had 34,000 apartment units under his control. And they weren't all his. He had investors. So, needless to say, the guy was kicking butt, has a ranch in Montana, a house in Kauai, private jet, one of those guys. And several years ago, he shifted and he started buying RV parks. And I was like, "What?" And the last time I talked to one of my friends, yeah, his name's Greg. Yeah, I think Greg has 22 RV parks now. And I know this guy, he's sharp, he knows how to make money. And when I saw him get into the RV park thing, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe he's getting into that now. It must be good." And so he influenced me, and I started looking into this, and it's profitable. But I got to tell you, from Airbnb experience, I was in the Airbnb business when it was getting hot, 6, 7, 8 years ago, and it has slowed down because there's more players in the market in Airbnb, and it's not as hot as it used to be. And I'm going to predict some of the same things going to happen with RV parks and Glamp sites, is that there's going to be a lot of people jumping into them. And I can tell you from experience that there's going to be some people that are going to go, how come I'm not renting out as many units as I thought? There's so many factors that could be happening. And I think I can help you make sure you're not buying the wrong piece of land, not building the wrong kind of park, so
Yep.
it's there's a lot to know. And
Yeah.
so my friend that set up all these things, kind of, he goes in and rehabs them, and I'm building mine from scratch, but I'm just telling you that there's a lot of money in this industry. And I want to tell people, you got to make your place look cool. You got to make it one of a kind, unique, because the days of renting out a room in your house and making all this money are gone. Airbnb has changed, and I think the same thing's going to happen in this industry. Is you're going to get some people that throw stuff up, and they're not going to get all the bookings because there's going to be some other parks that have some really cool, unique experiences in it. So
Yeah,
that's my
definitely.
advice.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike. That was a lot of value and good advice and so many nuggets in there. So thank you for sharing all of that. And yeah, before we wrap up here, if someone wants to connect with you, learn more from you, where can people find you?
Well, is it all right to go ahead and give out my email address?
Sure,
And
that's however
so
you're
my
comfortable.
right now, my email address is Mike at real estate, spelt out real estate by BY, not BUY, BY Scarlett, my last name, SCARLETT. There's two T's in the name, .com. So it's Mike at realestatebyscarlett.com is my email address. I'm going to go ahead and give my phone number because I'm an old guy that is fine talking on the phone. My phone number is 972-439-8545. And if you want to check out our Glamp site, it is Whispering, just spelt out, Whispering Woods TX for Texas.com. So www.whisperingwoodstx.com is our website. And I have a passion for this stuff, so you won't be bugging me if you call me. I like talking about it.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, I appreciate your time, your story, and your perspective. Thank you for being here.
Sure, thank you, and it was a pleasure talking to you.
Of course. And for those tuning into the show, if you got value from this, make sure you've subscribed. We have more conversations with operators like Mike who are building real businesses. We'll see you on our next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.